Hey guys, it's Georgina from Chicletaholic, and I'm here to do my September wrap up. This is basically where I talk about the books that I've read this month and whether or not I like them. Now, I do need to be a lot quicker with this video because I just filmed this and it was like 20 something minutes long, and you guys don't want to watch all that. So I'm going to try and cut it down and go through the books really quickly, tell you about them a little bit, and tell you whether I like them or not and whether they're worth buying. I read about 15 books this month. I don't know whether you guys think that's good or not. I think it's pretty good for me. Some people have less or more time to read books. So however many you read per month, it really doesn't matter. It's not a competition. So if you read however many books you read, let me know about them. You can post them in the down bar. What books you read, whether you read any of the same books as me, whether you liked the books or not, and what you thought of them. Please let me know. The first book that I read this month was Pinch Me by Adena Halpern. This one was fantastic. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. It is a magical novel in the sense that magical things happen. You do need to suspend your disbelief for reading this one. It is about Lily, and Lily gets married to a man named Gogo, and it's kind of against the better judgment of her mother and her grandmother, and basically she finds out she's cursed, and Gogo suddenly disappears and has no recollection of who she is, and he has another sort of different life. This one was fantastic. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. I would recommend reading this one. I have not read any previous novels by Adena Halpern, but I will be checking them out. The next novel that I read was Chocolicious by Geraldine Salon. This one was an ebook, so I don't have the actual copy here with me. This one was also fantastic. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. It kind of looks at a woman who loses everything and how she picks things back up again. Again, one I would definitely recommend. You can buy it as an ebook or as a print copy. I've just done it as an ebook for review. I don't generally tend to read ebooks because I don't have an e-reader. So if I rate an ebook highly, then, or if I even read an ebook, then it must be good. The next novel, again, one I would really recommend, Blow Me by Lenny Ross. This is Lenny Ross's debut novel. It is kind of Sex and the City meets LA. It is fantastic. 3 different women. There is Chloe, Skylar, and Dawn, and it is sort of about their lives. They are all sort of 40 or 30 something women who are mostly all single, and kind of what they all get up to. Very interesting. Definitely one I would recommend. I gave that one 4 out of 5 stars. The next book I read was The Empty Nesters by Nina Bell. I gave this one 5 out of 5 stars. I loved it. Love, love, love. This one is about Clover, Alice, and Laura. They are all friends. They all have children who are in high school, and all of their children are leaving to go to university, or as you guys call it, college. And it's kind of about how their lives change, how their friendships change, their relationships change during that time. It is a great family drama. There are great family dynamics that go on within this one. So if you love that kind of novel, I would definitely recommend this one. Anyone who loves reading about anything to do with women's fiction in general should read this one. It was fantastic. I would definitely recommend. I know that Nina Bell has written a couple of other novels. I will definitely be checking those out in the future because I haven't read any of them. So I should definitely get caught up on those. The next one was one of my favourites of the month. I have 3 favourites of the month. This one was one of them. Fat Girls and Fairy Cakes by Sue Watson. This was Sue Watson's debut. It is released in the UK on paperback and in the US as an ebook, so everyone can go out and buy this one. It is about Stella, and she works as a TV producer, and she ends up quitting her job, and she wants to see whether she can sort of make her what she enjoys doing, which is baking. It sort of helps relieve her stress, and she enjoys doing it all the time. I know I enjoy baking, and I enjoy eating baked goods, so I could definitely relate to this one, and I'm sure most of you can. It was fantastic. I loved it. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. This was her debut, Sue Watson's debut, so I was really impressed with this one. I would definitely recommend reading it and going out and buying it. It was wonderful. Wonderful. I can't sing its praises high enough. And I cannot wait to read Sue Watson's next novel, which is out next year. The next one was I'm sorry, I hate giving novels thumbs down. I really do. I hate it when I have to review a novel and I don't like it. But this one I didn't like. I reviewed it as part of a blog tour. It was Westmore by Carol Casada. I would love to tell you what it was about, but I really don't even remember that much because it wasn't very memorable. I give it 2 stars because it had great sort of premise and great promise. It could have been a great book. It was kind of like a soap opera. I forget what you guys in America call soap operas, or if you call them the same thing. I'm sure you don't. I'm sure you have another word for them, and I can't for the life of me remember what it is. You know, things like Days of Our Lives and all that, you call them something. Anyway, I'm not going to get caught up on that. It could have been great, but there were so many characters in this one, I just got so confused about what everyone was doing, and then the only time it was interesting was right at the very end, and then it ended. It is supposed to be a series, so I do understand why there was the big climax at the end, but I would have liked to see more actually go on, rather than just lots of different characters throughout the entire thing. I do hate having to give a novel a bad review, so I would definitely recommend going and checking this one out for yourself. Everyone has different tastes in novels. Sometimes the novel isn't for me, and this one wasn't, I'm afraid, but it may be for you. So don't sort of rule it out just because I said I didn't like it. The next novel I read was Watching Willow Watts by Tally Rowland. I love Tally Rowland, she's awesome. I read that one as an ebook because it was only available as an ebook. I will send it for a review, and it is out on paperback, I believe, in November, although I may be wrong. I think it's November, I'm almost 100% sure. And she has a new novel coming out soon called Build a Man, which I'm very excited for. That one is out in December. I'm talking fast. Basically, Watching Willow Watts is about Willow, and she impersonates Marilyn, and it gets uploaded onto YouTube in a video, and everyone sort of believes that Willow is going to be the new Marilyn, and everyone flocks to the town that she lives in, and she becomes like an overnight sensation. She becomes famous, and her agent is horrible. Oof, I hated him. He's called Jay, and he's awful, vile creature. Oof. But it's a great book. It's such an interesting and unique storyline, which I love. The plot was fantastic, and the characters were great too. I gave that one 4 out of 5 stars. So go and check that one out. If you haven't read any of Tally Rowland's books, go and read them. She's also got The Hating Game, which I have to admit I have not read yet, but I will be doing. The next book was another one of my favourites for this month, Working It Out by Nicola May. This one is probably going to be one of my favourites for the year. This one is a self-published novel, and I still cannot believe this one is self-published. I cannot believe a big publishing house has not sent this one out, because as I have noticed with self-published novels, which I do read quite a lot of, I like to sort of support authors who aren't so well known. I have noticed that a lot of them are as good as, if not better than, a lot of stuff that publishing houses do bring out. So I think that's fantastic, and this one was no exception. I loved it. I gave this one 5 out of 5 stars. I would probably go as far as to say this was my favourite of the month, but I did have 3 favourites, so I can't really choose. This one is about Ruby, and she gets laid off from her job, and then she realises that she never really liked that job. So she decides she's going to try out 12 different jobs every month. Well, not 12 jobs every month, but 12 jobs every month for the next year to find out what she wants to do. And it is fantastic. There are some funny jobs, there are some emotional jobs, there are some jobs that you will never want to have, and some jobs that you will wish you had. It's fantastic. There's lots of love interest. It was such a great novel. It's got everything in it, this one. If you go out and buy a novel, just one novel, buy this one, please. It was fantastic, and if you don't like it, you can blame me. Well, I hope you like it. But you will, I'm almost 100% sure. You can buy this one personally from Nicola May or from Amazon. Go on and buy it. It was fantastic. The next novel was my great big enormous novel of the month, Goddess of Vengeance by Jackie Collins. I love Jackie Collins. Who doesn't love Jackie Collins? Seriously, if you love chick lit, you probably love Jackie Collins. You probably read a lot of Jackie Collins. If you haven't read Jackie Collins, please go and do. She is, in my opinion, and in a lot of women's opinion, the queen of chick lit. She has written more novels than I care to remember. This is the 7th in the Lucky series. This one is about Lucky and sort of what she gets up to, and all about her life and her children's life. Max plays a big role in this one too again. And there is a horrible villain, probably the most... That's not even a word. I was going to say most horrible, but that's not good grammar or good wording. The most vile creature I have ever met in my life. Not that I've met him, but read about. probably the worst Jackie Collins villain, but it's not the worst in the sense of writing, but the worst in the sense of character and how he actually is. You will love this one. It's fantastic. I love the Lucky series of novels. You can read this as a standalone as well, so please do not worry if you have not read the rest of them. Go buy this. 4 out of 5 stars. Loved it. I need to go quickly. I have like 4 books left. Alice in Wonderland by Helen Smith. This one I gave 3 stars. Some elements I liked, some I didn't. I like the sort of idea of this novel. It's about a woman named Alison, and her husband leaves her, and so she joins a detective agency, and it's sort of about what she gets up to, and her best friend Taryn, who wants an abandoned baby, and all sorts of strange stuff. I found this one really hard to get into. I'm sorry, I really did. I couldn't really tell you what the storyline was about at any one point. 3 out of 5 stars. Sort of an iffy one. Some people love it, some people hate it. It may be for you, I don't know. Go check it out though. Again, another iffy one. With the next one I read, this one was Restless in Carolina by Tamara Lee. This is the 3rd one in the Southern Discomfort series. Again, you don't have to have read all of the Southern Discomfort series to enjoy this one. This one is about Bridget, and she is a widow. And she has been a widow for 4 years, but she's having problems getting over her husband. His death, and while trying to get over that, she also has to find a buyer for her Uncle Obe's estate, and she wants it to be an eco-friendly buyer. I love the idea of this novel. I thought it was great. It's something a little bit different from what you see in chick lit most of the time. I really enjoyed the characters. I thought they were great. The only things I didn't like about this were that it was very cliched about the South. It's set in South Carolina. I live in North Carolina. I find it very sort of cliched in the sense of what people from the southern states are like, and I also did not like the way that Christianity and God was pushed down my throat through this entire novel. I am not religious, but I am very open when it comes to my views on religion. Whatever religion you are, great, right? It's all up to you, what you want to believe in, what you want to, practice. I'm all for it, whatever. But I just don't like it being pushed down my throat, and I don't think it should be pushed down anyone's throat. I think it is every individual's choice. And I do not like it when a novel pushes any view down somebody's throat, and I felt that with this one. If you are Christian and you want to read about it, great. Go ahead and buy the book. If you don't mind about having things pushed down your throat like that, go and buy the book. But if you don't really want to be preached to, I would probably sort of say don't really pick up the novel. It is sort of verging on Christian fiction, which I don't tend to read, I have to say. The next novel I loved, 5 out of 5 stars. This was another of my favorites for the month. It is Starstruck by Jane Loveling. This one is about Skye, and Skye was in a car accident which killed her best friend and her fiance, and she lost her memories for the year before the accident. And she has emotional scars, she has physical scars, and she's kind of trying to get over it. And her best friend Fee thinks the best way to get over it is to go to America to a convention for her and his favourite TV show, Falling Skies. And this one has so much emotional depth. There is so much depth to this novel, it is unbelievable. The characters are so deep, they all have so many flaws, yet they're all realistic. And I love when a novel portrays people realistically. I just loved this one, I really did. And I think a lot of people will love this, whether you are male, female, whether you love chick lit, whether you don't like chick lit. This one just sort of is for everybody, really, and that's why I love it so much. Anyone can read this and love it. I have not read Jane's previous novel, which is Please Don't Stop the Music, but I will be doing now because I love this one so much. But definitely go pick this one up. Excuse me. Go pick this one up and check it out because you will love it. The 3rd one was again a novel. It was Paris Noir by Francine Thomas Howard. This one I love the idea of. It is set in 1944 at the end of the war in Paris, and it is about people who have emigrated from Martinique to live in Paris. And it's kind of about their relationships. A lot of their relationships are with white French people, and their mother does not approve, and society does not seem to approve. The idea of the novel and the romance in the novel is fantastic. I loved the novel. The only 2 things I hated were the ending, which really pushed my rating down. I was going to give it 4, it made me give it 3, and sort of the way that it is mentioned all the time that these people are from Martinique. Those were my 2 big issues. Sorry I have spoken so fast. I have to keep this video under 15 minutes, and it is going to hit 15 minutes any second. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will post again very soon. Have a great weekend, guys, and I'll speak to you soon.